Is it safe for former Miami Heat first-round pick Precious Achiuwa to be walking around with lions and holding him by the tail? There has to be more to the story on this. Like, not only having the lions, I suppose it's nice that they're not on leash. And they look kind of old. I mean, I don't know if these lions, but they are lions nonetheless. And I don't know how to feel about this. Precious, be careful, man. That is they're still lions, man. They're still lions. You got to watch out for. So the in-season tournament has released their schedule, and the Miami Heat have their pool play or group play games. I'm not a fan of this in-season tournament. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't need a fake trophy to care about the regular season. It's the Miami Heat's fault, though, that this all exists, because the Miami Heat made a finals one year as the 8th seed with the play-in tournament, which I think was, the play-in tournament, although it's caused much angst for the Heat fan, has been a great success. The in-season tournament, I don't know. The courts are goofy, right? Like, you have that red court. You're playing for this goofy cup. Everybody, you're supposed to be incentivized by playing for $500,000, which for some of your rosters is a big deal. For Jimmy Butler, he calls that a game night anyway. That's some of this money's so crazy these days. I don't even know if that gets anybody into this, but it is out here nonetheless. And the Miami Heat's pool has been set. The full schedule, by the way, the full NBA schedule gets released Thursday at 3 p.m. I was very excited when I read that in Ira Winderman's column. I was like, oh, that's a win, that's a loss. Woo-hoo! Maybe I'll just save it for here. I might do that's a win, that's a loss. I may do it. It might be a channel exclusive, because I do think that 82 games is a bit much for the radio audience. I don't think Leroy, he barely likes doing the bit for football, and that's 17 games. Perhaps I will save that for the channel, and I will dive into a that's a win, that's a loss on Friday for you guys exclusively. But here is what they got. They got at Detroit. All right. They got on November 12th. 2 days later at Indiana, which I can tell you that place is a dump. And so they got to travel them. My condolences to the Miami Heat. I never really knew what you were facing until I had to go face it myself. They then will 12 days later, and that'll be on November 26th. So that's got to be around Thanksgiving time. What are we looking at? Thanksgiving. So 2 days before Thanksgiving, on November 26th, prime time, 7:30 TNT for one of the last few times. Heat Bucks. Both teams who are Christmas snubs, by the way. Two teams that were Christmas snubs, which I don't really have any beef. This is normally a thing where, I do like the Heat having a Christmas game, because I like having some Christmas entertainment. However, I cannot whine about it as a team that got bounced in the first round in 5 games and was the 8th seed. That's not really Christmas material. So I really have no beef with it. I understand. You want to put your little Victor Wembanyama out there. I understand. He's a freak show. All the kids. I know Jimmy Butler's going to be on like 9 commercials anyway. So we'll get some Christmas representation, but it's not in the games. And quite frankly, then I'm not missing a game. So that's nice. I don't have to miss some action there. Final group play game will be November 29th against the Raptors. And then, so yeah, that's not the most daunting group. It's a pretty fair group the Heat are in. You have, 2 teams that I don't think are very good, and then 2 teams that are pretty decent. So it's a pretty balanced group play game that the Heat have coming up with this whole schedule. And we'll see what gets going. I don't know if I'm going to get more into it if they are more successful. They were not last year, and I was not into it. It was a pretty forgettable regular season last year with all of the injuries and all of the issues that they had to go through. So, you hope that maybe maybe the point is for the Heat to go after this. Maybe Eric Spoelstra will make that a thing. This could be one of those things where he can kind of turn around the mentality, as stupid as it may seem, because of that dumb court that they got to play on. Maybe the Miami Heat, who caused their own demise of having this in-season tournament, the reason that they had to have some token in the middle of the year to act like fans care more and weird courts and uniforms, well, that was their doing. They got to the NBA Finals as an 8 seed. NBA had to do something. Last year, you could tell the Miami Heat couldn't give two rats' asses about the regular season. So perhaps for Eric Spoelstra, as goofy as it may seem, you attack this with the intensity that it deserves. And maybe it will turn out to be something. Look, did it have any benefit? I don't think the Heat need big stage testing for anything, but you get that. You get those wins. You kind of almost have this Olympic feel to it. Spo and Bam are coming off high stakes games, and maybe there's something too. Tyrese Halliburton did a lot of trash talking to the Bucks in this. I look at somebody like Tyler, right? Tyler Herro, it's looked upon and needs to up the ante in the playoffs. The playoffs are a long way away, and there's still a whole lot of season that Tyler Herro has to play basketball. At 24, 25 years old that he's going to be this season, very young age. And like it was for Tyrese Halliburton, maybe for Tyler, this in a big way could be his coming out party and be his ability to go out there and make things happen on a national stage, because there will be this tournament format, and you'll see who the best teams are, and just to go win something in a crazy way. Maybe I'm convincing myself that this in-season tournament could actually be somewhat important to the Miami Heat. If you're really going to change mentality and you're really going to change how you feel, which, as we know, last year was very little about the regular season, you turn this into go after it, go after the jugular, have these extra games to play for, host quarterfinal games, get extra games at home, and then send it off to Vegas for the middle of December. And maybe you give the young kids a Khalil Ware, a Pella Larson, and then a Tyler Herro to get that kind of rocking going on national television in a big way. Because I got to be honest with you, whatever happens on Thursday schedule-wise, I'm going to imagine the Miami Heat are not going to be on a ton of national TV games this year. And similar to the Christmas thing, I can't necessarily blame it. I'm going to be watching no matter what. It doesn't matter to me. But I do like seeing the Miami Heat get that national attention, that national love. You guys know that. And I think that if you want to get more attention and you want to get more eyeballs on you, this tournament may be a weird way to go make that happen. And I think especially for somebody like Tyler, it could be beneficial to kind of give like an arrival statement to this year. And I do dig like his new, buzz cut look. He's got these very artistic photos going on social media. It's kind of like he's going from boy wonder to Bane. Like it's like you merely adopted the floater. I was born with it. I don't know. There's something like a Tyler Herro with more of an edge, like the boy wonder going into this next evolution of something. So, and I don't know if that will work. I don't know if Eric Spoelstra can make that the target. I think that he could get a lot of guys. Could he get a Jimmy Butler, who is? This is going to be the fascinating thing. A Jimmy Butler is in essentially a contract year by his by reports and by his choice if he wanted to be. You kind of go out there and you attack this bevy of highlighted games. Maybe there's something there. Maybe the Miami Heat need to look at this as something that that needs to matter to them to show that they've changed the mentality of this particular locker room for the guys who have been here a while. The guys like Bam and Tyler and Jimmy and Duncan Robinson and even, you throw Kevin Love in that, who's been there for a few years. The guys who have been here and have the experience with the team. You have this, all right, you take it a little bit more seriously. It means something to this entire roster. You get that dog back in you. I don't know if you guys can even hear that from here, but anyway. But I think there could be something there. think there could be something there that we'll have to keep an eye on. But I am very excited for the whole schedule to come on out.